The tires are dusty.
Alright, so we're at Dave's Tuning Alternatives here in Waterbury, Connecticut, and we are getting the Miata retuned because I changed the ECU. I've been having some problems with Adaptronic ECUs just going bad, so I swapped out the ECU. And Dave here is going to get my tune either transferred over or retuned if we have to. Alright, so Dave disconnected the supercharger because he wants to get like a base NA tuning before he starts doing the supercharged tuning. So the belt is off the supercharger right now. I'm not sure if that's going to work.
Oh, we'll see.
Because the throttle body is on the inlet side of the supercharger over here. So the air has to go through the supercharger and through here to get into the motor. That's just a dummy inlet over there, not a real throttle body. The real throttle body is over here. So Dave said it'll work, so we'll see.
Right. The Miata's always been supercharged since you've had it, right?
Yeah, I've never driven it NA.
Never driven it NA, huh? It sounds different for sure, that's for sure, I think. Time to put the supercharger belt back on now. Alright. We're going to see if it hits 6.5 psi on this boost. The belt's a little flappy. Relatively tight. It could be tighter, but that's what she says.
I think it's tight enough to make full boost.
Yeah.
So we're holding up Dave from finishing his own Civic right now by working on my car. But look at the turbo on this thing.
Damn.
And that's a CRX. Oh, 10 seconds.
Round 2 with the supercharger. Alright, so I read 163.4.
Yep, 163.4. First pull with the supercharger hooked up. Alright, we got Dave here in his natural habitat, doing the stuff that we were holding him up from doing earlier.
It's okay. You know what? I'd rather be tuning.
So Dave's got a K24 in here.
Yeah, it needs a lot of cleaning up and wiring and everything else, but this is a street car, so once it come back out, I always like to keep my cars incognito, so it's going to have air to water setup on it, a basic little heat exchanger in the front, but all of the bumper reinforcements and other components are going to go right back on the car.
CRX. It's got a air to water intercooler. This is, you haven't driven this turbo yet.
I haven't driven it turbo yet.
This is new. He had it NA, and it was running what, 12 what?
It was running 12.3 NA and
12.3.
12.3 NA and 11.5 on the gun.
11.5 with nitrous?
Yes.
Yep. That's pretty badass. 11-second street car.
And I used to autocross it. That's why I always keep my RA88s on the car.
Yep, that's what I got on the Miata.
sir. Alright, so I'm having the blogger get vlogged right now. I want you to drive the car, just go through the up to 4th gear, go through the gears, go through the RPM ranges as you would drive it. Aggressively, non-aggressively, cruising, all of the above. See how it feels.
Okay.
It'll give you a relative feel of exactly how it feels on the road.
That felt weird to drive it on the dyno. Like, I like downshifted it into third after the pull, and I was like, wow, it's still like going way too fast on the rollers. So you have no sense of speed when you're standing still.
You excited?
Yeah, I'm stoked to have like both my cars running good again.
Yay!
After doing all the work on the Z this week to get the cam timing.
Yes. Just in time for September, which has like event after event after event. Nice.
Alright, I'm gonna take it for a street drive.
You want me to come with you?
To see how it feels. You wanna come?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, it feels better already.
Yay!
It doesn't have that little hiccup in between gears where it like kind of like doesn't
Yep.
tip in well.
Yep.
It's smooth now shifting.
All right.
It's not bucking or anything yet, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna do a little second gear pull. Oh shit! Yeah,
Wow.
that felt good.
I bet you we could hear you.
It's a bumpy ass road.
I know. That's the road, not the car.
This is Waterbury.
Yeah.
Do a little third gear pull.
Third gear pull, go!
Yeah, we're there, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a nice ride home.
Woohoo! I need my coffee fix right now, so I'm gonna go in and get some coffee. Munchkins. Thank
There
you.
you go. You're welcome. Have a nice day.
What was that? Hang on to your coffee.
Yeah.
Just cruising. Feels good.
Yay! Coffee tastes good.
Alright, we're headed back to Dave now.
Woo!
Just to let him know everything's good. Get this as good as you do. So.
Yeah.
Well, attention to details is the key. Before we started the tune, I went through, I checked the TPS calibration. Obviously, we did something that hadn't been done before with your car, which was remove the supercharger belt and do an NA tune on it the way it came in. The nicest part about that is it gives you an opportunity to get all of your transitionals correct, part throttle out of load versus relying on the supercharger. Because whenever you're driving the car, transitioning, you're not always going to be in boost. So when it falls back in those areas, that's the key.
Okay, well that's awesome. I've never seen anyone do that before.
Yeah.
And yeah, you really, I mean, that takes extra time to disconnect the belt. It's extra work. And Dave always puts in the extra time to make things right, and that's why we come here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I love it. It's always an experience because when the car is drifting around the track, whether it's drift events or now it's getting into autocrossing, you can say, hey, I had part of that. So
Have you seen these videos on YouTube where people tune their cars to shoot flames? and they're just sitting there like blasting flames, and the exhaust is blowing red hot.
It's ignorant.
I know. I was just looking at one on Instagram yesterday, and I was like, either it's gonna catch on fire, or something bad has got to be happening.
Well, think about it. If you retard the timing to the point where the actual flame front moves into the exhaust, and you're throwing flames, essentially having the car in anti-lag without a turbo, in most cases, is the worst thing you can do for an engine. You're talking about pit and valve seats. You're talking about a lot of different bad stuff that's happening.
Channel 4 News.
Yeah, I see people doing it and just holding it at limiter until the whole thing is glowing and flame is just steadily shooting out, and I'm just like, wow, all that heat is,
and then
it could catch your floor on fire.
Yeah.
regardless, when the time comes and things start melting down in the engine, and they say why, well, the engine remembers what you did last summer.
I call that like a scene points tune. Like, it does nothing except just scene points. And I really just wanted to ask like an experienced tuner, like what kind of effects that would have on the car.
It's the worst thing that can happen to your car.
Okay, that's what I thought. So
All right, now you know. The more you know.
don't do that, kids.
Don't
That's
do
ridiculous.
Disclaimer.
Tune your car safe so it lasts, so you can actually drive it and not just sit in a parking lot revving your engine. Go to the track. Don't go to car shows. Go to the track.
Well, the car meets. The car show guys know better.
Yeah, true. Yeah, car meets. I haven't been to a car meet in years because it's just like you said.
It's scene points, and then also on the same token, you're gauging somebody's knockoff wheels versus your knockoff wheels versus your wrap, and this guy's, carbon fiber, and listen, and there's no reward. That'll be different if there was some type of game. There's no game.
A lot of times, like the things people do to cars, like they're prepping these cars for the junkyard. Like, I'm trying to prep my car for it to be a classic and keep going on and on, just like my other car, my Thunderbird that I've had for 18, 19 years. I don't want this thing to be in the dump like in 2 years.
And these guys got new cars that they're paying car notes on. Imagine that.
Yeah, and they're dragging the frame on the ground.
Oh gosh.
And just blowing up the engine with ridiculous flame shooting tunes. And just sitting there.
Not I. Look,
well, when you get older,
would you like that? No. I'm not giving it to you. Sorry.
When you get older, you get over the whole like chasing horsepower numbers, the flames, the stance, all that stuff, and you get down to things that actually take talent. You focus on yourself as a driver and as a mechanic and as a tuner.
Let me tell you, your perception of speed changes with age. When we was younger, what was speed? Speed was the noise the cars make, revving through, burning through gears and all that other stuff. That was a display of speed. Now a display of speed is how fast my speedometer goes up according to my tachometer and the tractive effort it requires, and being able to actually transition on the pedal and off, and it's so much greater than the exhibition of speed.
Yeah, now it's measured in time slips, looking at your 60 foots, looking at
your track times, your lap times, all of the above. So if it doesn't equate to that, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's real progress and real development.
And that's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
MR2, first gen. Just came in the mail today.
Yep.
Well, thank you again. Thank you for
thank
coming
you.
on.
All right, another fun trip to Dave's, and that's a wrap.
Woo!
All right, so we're just driving down the road, and all of a sudden, like, I see a bunch of people standing around a Miata, and so I just like turned around real quick, and we have a turbo Miata that has been dynoed at 250 horsepower.
Let's make it around
It looks pretty clean.
230 torque.
230 torque. That's awesome. That's a lot of torque. Let's take a look inside.
That's a dangerous spot there.
Oh, you got a hydro in there and everything?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about drifting the next year.
Oh, hell yeah. I drifted mine for quite a few years, actually.
Yeah.
And I just got a 350Z, so I've been kind of drifting that. But yeah, I took mine to a drift event recently. I'm mostly trying to autocross it now.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Where are you trying to do that?
It's sometimes in Hartford with kart, and there was one in Massachusetts at the Big E Fairground recently. And then we got one coming up at Thompson and one at Lime Rock.
Oh, really? I didn't know Thompson. Do you know how much it costs to run up with Thompson?
For autocross?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It was 35 bucks in Hartford. It was 50 bucks at the Big E. I haven't done Thompson yet for autocross. I usually pay like $120 to $190 for drifting at Thompson, depending on what type of event if it is, and whether or not there's like other NASCAR stuff going on that day.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
95?
Oh yeah. Well, mine's a 94, but it's counted as a 95 because it's that weird jump in the years there. Is there? Yeah, I was gonna go grab my camera. Go put it in. Yeah, okay. Well, kind of hurry up.
Yeah, we can't resist, you know?
Gotta get the right angle, gotta get the right lighting. These guys, look at him. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I got some pro equipment. Look at them go. That was a cool experience.
Yeah.
Seeing these kids. Oh, now they're gonna go check out their. Whoa. Bye, awesome Miata neighbor. Bye. I don't know if it came out good, but you know.